By clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
On the cusp, not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma.
Yeah. Woo! Woke up with a vision. It's Professor Bear's day. Ruling the game, coming hard, paving his way. Thoughtful and smart, yeah, the wisdom of math. In a world full of shadows, he's breaking the cast.
Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining me in today's special Bear's Thought. I am the Professor Bear, and today's episode is brought to you in part by Chops Trading Cards and Print-On Designs. Yes, if you need any trading cards, any type work done, Chops Trading Card is the place to go. And plus, since you're listening to the professor will give you just a tad bit more reason to go there. A 15% off your entire purchase. All you have to do is put in Bear 15 to get 15% off your purchase. And this is, remember, Chops Trading Cards and Print-On Designs, the #1 chop card maker in the world. And the Bear says so. Now, today's guest is one of my first interviews that unfortunately didn't come out because Professor Bear was using an old tree to store his stuff, and it didn't work out. So the Bear was thinking to himself, man, I feel really bad because I've promised people to get this stuff out. How could I make it up to him? Duh, you have a show, Professor. Let them get out there and find out what's been going on with them since the last time you talked to them. So my guest today is independent wrestling star Damian. Brother, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, every day above ground is a positive.
I heard that.
So my friend, let's go and tell my fans a little bit about your background in professional wrestling.
Well, I broke in the business about 2018, and I had some things go wrong, and I ended up stepping away from the wrestling scene for a couple years, and then I was going through a divorce, and I had got through that and everything, and got back out on my feet, and I ended up going to a show to where I only wrestled there because of work, but I ended up going there one night, and I think it was it was either an anniversary show or something, and it was standing room only, and I stood in the very back, and I just sat there and watched, and remembering of the days when I first started training and my first couple of matches that I had, and from that show on, man, I kind of got that itch again, and I got a hold of the promoter and the guys that was doing all the training and stuff like that, and I got in, and I told myself, the first time it was kind of really a fluke, and I didn't take the time to hone in on my craft, and I didn't train as much as I should have, and this time I went in guns a blazing, and it's been, I think I just broke back in the business the last time that we had our talk, and now I'm going on almost 3 years. And since the last time we talked, man, if I could go back and watch some of my matches from then until now, I've really honed in on the stuff that I was really struggling with. Like everybody still struggles with a lot of things in wrestling, but just me, it was being able to you know work the crowd and remember the spots and stuff like that. And I've actually kind of slowed down, and I can hear the crowd, and I can still think clear and stuff like that. Uh, I wrestled in high school, so it really wasn't nothing. It really wasn't nothing new to me working in front of a crowd, which obviously school wrestling is a shoot. It's a shoot match. You're well, I don't know how to put this. You're really trying to. The only way you're winning it is you're pinning the guy's shoulders down to the mat, and he can't get up. Uh, I don't know how far off script we're going here, but there's a difference in that. But no, I've I've brought my collegiate wrestling background into professional wrestling, and it's that's probably one of the coolest things that I've decided to do. Is you don't really know how much stuff that you can do in collegiate that you can in a professional wrestling ring. It's actually pretty cool.
So, with your collegiate background, do you think it made things easier for you to transition over?
Some, yeah. Others, other things, no. Some, yeah, some, no. It's a split 50-50. Uh, yeah, you gotta know where the line is, and not cross it in the wrestling ring. If you're in a collegiate match and you're wrestling, if you go to slam somebody, or if you belly to back somebody, you're not worried about if they're going to get up off the mat. You know what I mean? But with this being a professional wrestling match, we all want to keep each other safe, and we all want to make sure that you know whoever's in that ring, the two wrestlers in the ring, they walk out just like they come in. That's the big difference from it. And one, you don't care how they walk away, but in a professional standpoint, yeah, you want to take care of whoever you're working with. Yeah.
But with that being said, too, um, with your training and everything, that keeps you in, I would say, prepared just in case the person you're working against chooses to not be, let's say, uh, uh, agreeing to what the match layout is supposed to be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Which, yeah, if it, my instincts are bound to kick in from time to time, and I gotta like, hey, can't do that.
Oh wow! So when with you having collegiate, were you a big wrestling fan as a kid?
Oh yeah, I do. me and my dad, which has since then has passed away. My dad passed away in 2017, and I think that was an even bigger thing because wrestling was a big part of I guess our father and son bond, and every Monday night or every Friday night, we'd love to turn the TV on and watch WWE. I was a real big Batista fan. Uh, every time Batista would come out and when he would do his old pyro gimmick, I was probably, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years old. I'd get up in front of the TV and had my little underwear on, just doing his little gimmick with him, and I loved it, man. There was like one specific time where my dad had told me, he said, wouldn't it be so cool if you was actually in his shoes doing that? I'm like, yeah, and like I said, I found the indie scene, man, and it's been one of them things that I've always wanted to do, and to be, like if my dad was still here, man, I could, you know, I'm not on WWE, but I'm doing the thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I that hits with me very much so because me and father were big wrestling fans and everything, and he passed in 2017 also, and it's amazing what you remember and just the things that would trigger that memory for you. And it's like
Oh
even when you don't feel like doing this, like okay, Dad, what would Dad say if he was here?
yeah.
So yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Well, it also makes doing as well as I have been doing here recently, the last 2 years, that I have been back in the indie scene. Um, I have, since the last time we have talked, I have got with another lady. We are actually engaged and we're getting married in October.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
Thank you. She also has she has 3 kids. She has a 13-year-old. She has a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old. And her the daughter, she'll go. She's not into it like her little boys are. The boys that are 9 and 8, the 8-year-old has Down syndrome, and he loves it to death. And I think that's another big thing too, is seeing how much joy they get out of it. And after a show, they'll ask me a bunch of questions if I'm okay, or if did that really hurt. And yeah, I think that's one of the big things, that the questions that I used to ask my dad watching TV, and now they're sitting here asking me some of the same questions. I think that's another big a big, a father a father and son bond moment that I see myself and my dad had at one point in time. To see it transform and me being on the other end of that, I'm like, yeah, it didn't feel good, but I'm okay. I promise.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Um,
and I come out, and I've got a little, uh, I've always been real big into, like archery, and like, I don't really bow hunt, but I used to get into archery pretty good, back in the day. And I'll come out and I'll do this thing where I'll get up on the turnbuckle in my entrance, and I'll kind of do this little thing here and go. And I got both of my boys in the background doing the same thing while I'm doing it. So that's pretty cool. I've got my youngest stepson, uh, during one of my moves, setting up one of my moves, I'll do this, he's done gimmick. And like I said, he's got Down syndrome, so he really don't know. But when he's at the house and he's fighting with his brother or his sister, he's actually picked up on that. And when they're wrestling around the house, he's actually started doing that. And I'm like, oh gosh, we're gonna get a phone call from school. You just have to tell them, like, look, that their stepdad wrestles, and that's exactly where he picked it up. I promise you, he's not a serial killer.
those were one of those problems that you don't want, but you kind of in the back of your
Yeah,
head You're smiling about it like, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
the last time we talked, you were, I can't remember the name of the promotion you were in, but
RCW Renegade Championship Wrestling.
yes, and you were getting some good momentum. I
Right.
remember that you were building some momentum. Tell me where you are today and where what you have accomplished or what your goals are.
Um, the momentum that I had the last time we talked, that momentum really has never went anywhere. Um, it's the momentum is still really there. I am actually the the voting poll that I had sent to you or whatever. Uh, I'm still leading that. I'm still very young and I'm still very green in the business. Um, so you know, to see all these other names that people that's been in the business for so many years and have done so many amazing things to travel, and some of the people that they have wrestled, just to even be in that same category as some of them people, and or even winning the poll for a fan favorite. Um, I really, when they first started talking about doing it, I thought it was cool, but I didn't think anything was to come of it. I kind of had a feeling my name would be up there, but I never really figured it would be a number one, and it's pretty much stayed there the whole time that this poll has been open. They've done like segments of this poll, I guess you can say, or uh, breaking it up every other week or something like that. Uh, but yeah, to be where I'm at now from the last time we had talked, I have done I've put a lot of work in, and I've took the time to ask uh, my peers, how can I get better, how can I do this, and just being able to relay the knowledge that I've picked up from many of different people uh, over the last couple years, and being able to relay everything back to them, to see the fans soaking that in, uh, is just it's phenomenal. Uh, every match that I come out, and I still have them same butterflies as the very first one, but to see how the fans respond to me, uh, and everything, it's incredible. It's like a feeling. It's like an adrenaline high that only so many people can feel, and I think that just carries over into the match, and that's what allows me to keep having great matches.
I definitely understand the butterflies. Um, Earlier this year, I got a chance to go down to Texas and
Hmm.
actually get into the ring. Now, unfortunately, I can't take a bump. Man, I'm so messed up, it's not even funny, but I was still able to go into the ring, have a segment, and man, when I hear you as a wrestler talk about the butterfly, again, not being able to be in your shoes is like, oh, okay, I've had butterflies. It was not until I threw the curtain and heard my music that I caught a tunnel vision. I could not see any of the fans.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear my music. I just had tunnel vision. And
that
man,
that's
it,
the
it was
part.
one of the craziest feelings.
Yeah, yeah, that's the part that I was struggling with the last time that we had talked, was being able to the tunnel vision, not having to be so worried about what I need to be doing as far as like the match goes, but uh, what else I need to be doing as far as selling, feeding to the crowd and stuff like that. your first couple matches, you got that tunnel vision, so bad you're not going to be able to do everything that you need to do because you're so focused on that one thing, and you don't you're trying so hard not to mess up. And yeah, that I struggle with that. There's times where I still struggle with that. And yeah, that's what I've gathered over the guys that I wrestle with is it takes several years and several matches to I guess kind of get out of that. I guess that headspace of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, and get the tunnel vision to where it's not there no more. Um, but sadly, RCW Renegade Championship Wrestling is about the only place where I can really work, because my job, I work on Saturdays, so I really don't have the time. I get off work at 4:30, and I work 10, 12 hours that day already, and I really just don't have the time to get in the car and go travel uh, hours away somewhere. I mean, but it is what it is. I've been hanging out and doing what I need to be doing at the show that I'm at, and I feel like I've been excelling there. So uh, that's a plus for me.
That's good to hear. Um, with that being said, do you think that eventually that you will want to go travel to different organizations and hone your skills there?
Oh yeah, I mean it's always been I have actually had the opportunities uh, to do so, but like I said, we with work it don't really allow me to do all the things that I want to do. Yeah, I've had numerous opportunities, and I've had people come up and ask, hey, you need to try and get on this show or whatever. If you want to come to this show and hang out and see how things are, we'd love to have you. I'm still getting noticed, but I don't push the issue too much, because I know that uh, I really can't do a whole lot with getting off work early or whatever, because it's if it's my scheduled work day, and I need to be there. So I really don't try a whole lot to get out and about like a lot of other wrestlers do. I would love it. I would love to travel, go to wherever, Florida, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, up into Kentucky. I've worked with some people at RCW that hasn't been from around here, and I've got to pick their brains a couple times, and it's actually it's a pretty cool feeling knowing that people really do travel uh, from a lot of faraway places to just to come wrestle, and uh, it's always been cool to meet new faces and uh, pick their brain and see what all knowledge that I can gain from them.
All right. Um, what this year I've been trying to get out to more different indie matches, promotions and stuff, just to gather the feel of how the promotion is, the fan base, and everything. And I've been blessed me to seeing some great shows, meet people. Um, one thing that I definitely love, and I have, knock on wood, I have not ran into yet, is a promotion where I don't care if it was 4 people in the crowd or over 1,000. Everybody makes it feel special.
Yeah,
It's, you can tell the work that the promotion does, the wrestlers, the refs, everybody, to make it feel like the biggest show on God's green earth. And I
oh
love that feeling when I can look at the crowd and see kids just enjoying themselves, parents. It is one of the best things for me and what makes me love independent wrestling so much more.
Right.
And I had an interview yesterday, and someone told me, and I said I was going to try to not say indie, to say professional wrestling, because that's what it is.
Right.
Professional wrestling, the way I grew up on, as
Right.
I and man, I love to know. So, have we won any titles? That
Oh, not yet. No, I'm still working towards that. Um,
so what titles do you have in your range? What who's going to be the victim? That's what I should say.
uh, there's a couple. There's
You
there's I can tell you this. I can pull the curtain back for you just a little bit. There's one in particular, and it's coming pretty soon. Probably probably here in the next month.
oh, nice, nice.
I'll have to. We'll see. We'll see what I can do.
Love it. Love to hear it. Um, so in your short time, what is the biggest moment in the ring for you so far?
The biggest moment in the ring for me so far. Uh, I guess it was probably a couple months back. I had actually worked I think it was my second. I think it was like my second main event. The second time that I main evented. It wasn't for a title. It just wasn't for anything. It was a really it was a really damn good match. I mean, it was just a from curtain to curtain. It was just it was probably the best match that I've had since I have been wrestling. Uh, and I ended up winning that match. And I ended up I think I was wrestling Chris Gaines. And I, I think he's from around here. I think I want to say he's from around here. I don't know too much about him in general, but he's kind of like he's one of them guys where he knows his stuff, and he knows how to work a crowd, and he knows uh, whatever he wants to do. It don't take him long to say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. And dude, we went out there. Like I said, we got bumped up from first to main event, and it we did not disappoint. I'm pretty sure it was one of them matches where if we would have been first match, we would have went back to the locker room and said, "Hey, you guys can try and top that." Yeah, it was just so good, and the crowd was just so electric. And I think we had something go on after the match was over with, and the GM had come out, and he applauded me. He had the mic in his hands, and he said something, and he applauded me, and he I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said that, man, and the crowd just went ballistic. Uh, I think so far, and actually being main event and having a match like that uh, kind of lets me know that uh, I can also have more matches that way. It don't really have to be just that one match. So that lit a fire up underneath me to be able to wanna have that that feeling again, or that quick burst of adrenaline, just hearing the fans react to uh, you as a wrestler. That's probably my biggest. That's probably been my biggest thing that I have done this far.
Man, I'm so glad to hear that, and I have confidence that it's like you said, it's just is just not going to be your only. This is a sign for things to come for you, and
Oh yeah,
I'm so glad for you. Uh,
most
okay, for and I have a tendency to do this. In 5 years, where do you see yourself in your wrestling career?
well. I like I said, if it wasn't for work, I'd like to see myself uh, traveling around a little bit. In 5 years, I'd like, even if I'm not traveling, in 5 years, I'd still like to be uh, one of them guys that has done the same for me. To see other men and women had to come in and want to be a professional wrestler. Uh, if if work prevents me not from really traveling and getting out and seeing different parts of the U.S. or whatever, uh, I would that my next best thing would be to to help up and coming people, to give back, to tell them what helped me get to where I'm at. Uh, it's really nothing big, but that's just I'm a firm believer in make whatever promotion you're at bigger than make it better than how you found it, or whatever. So that would just me, at the very least, me giving back to other people.
That is, I love hearing that because there are so many different wrestlers with that same mindset, and you'll be able to tell that you was trained well, that you listen, and you always want to give back to the business that
Right.
has given to you. So I give you all props for that. It's really a big thing to hear.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I've got the question a couple times. Who trained you or whatever. Um, you know, we've actually had a bunch of people, bounce around. Uh, I really don't have a one specific person. Uh, if come to mind, if I was to be asked, who trained you, man, the whole locker room. I mean, that would be pretty much what I'd say. There's just so many people uh, in the locker room at RCW that has had their hand in helping me. They all praise me when there needs to be praise, or you know they'll sit me down. No, they won't really chew me out, but they'll sit me down and say, hey, this is what happened, this is what you did wrong, here's how you can do better next time. Um, so I think for somebody like myself that and you know people these days, there's a lot of people that don't like disappointing folks these days. So I guess I can fall underneath that same category. Not just for myself. I think it's just because I have so much respect for everybody that I get in between them ropes with. I have so much respect for the promotion, the promoter, all the workers that work at that promotion. Anytime that I go to step out of that curtain, I don't want to feel like I've let anybody down. I want to give them. And not only the workers or the promoter or just the promotion itself, the fans. Say we have fans that are there for the first time, and they see my match, and I have one couple screwed up moments where they actually catch, like, hey, that don't look right. I don't like leaving a sour taste in somebody's mouth. I want to be the best that I can be for everybody involved in that building.
Man, again, that's just a great attitude to have, and again, that just shows that you're definitely a professional wrestler,
Right.
not not just a wrestling entertainer. So
Right.
again, I'm quick to praise you for that.
I appreciate it.
Um, so who is the biggest name that you've faced so far?
Biggest name. I'm thinking. I'll forget somebody if I just say a name. Um, hmm. I don't know about facing. Uh, I mean, my opinion, we're all big in some form or fashion. But as far as like popularity wise, um, I would have to say, uh, I'd have to say is probably I can't remember their name. It was a tag match. Their crap, I can't remember their tag name. Anyways, names the one of the guys' name's Caleb. I can't remember their tag name to save their life. Anyways, I for a short amount of time I was with a tag partner. We had some things kind of go south. Uh, uh, he ended up he ended up hurting my shoulder in training one day, and uh, ever since then it went downhill. But like I said, that part don't even matter. But we uh, we had a tag match against these two gentlemen. They're out of Tennessee, somewhere up in Tennessee, and they actually do travel quite a bit. And I think they was like second or third generation wrestlers. Uh, I'm having a brain fart. I cannot remember their name to save my life, and I talk to them periodically, which is crazy. But
Believe
yeah,
you me, as much as I do this and talk to people, I I I have to say this, and I don't understand why people even watch my show because I screw up so much. And maybe that's what they wait on for that.
well,
I don't know, but
well,
anyway, I
hey,
definitely understand forgetting names and stuff. So
it,
don't feel bad about that.
hey, for the viewers, I know Bear, I showed you, but for the viewers, I'm still a little medicated a little bit. This past Tuesday, I had a torch blow up on me, and I'm still medicated pretty good, but I've got first and second degree burns on the inner part of right below my kneecap. So yeah, that may be hindering me a little bit. So. So if
Hey,
I'm if I'm slurring or anything, I ain't drunk. It's the medication that I'm on. You know what I mean?
I, I wish I could say the same, but hey, I'm just saying a drink here and there. Hey, sometimes the professor needs to calm his nerves too.
Right, right. I'll tell you.
So man, tell me more about the promotion where you're based at, so my fans can start trying to look at you and check y'all out.
Yeah. I wrestle for RCW, Renegade Championship Wrestling. We're out of Chatsworth, Georgia. The address is 3890 Alternate 52, Chatsworth, Georgia. Um, man, I don't want. I'm not trying to be biased. Hell, maybe I am, but there, you coming to our show and you not ever being there before, I can promise you're going to say the word "wow" at least 100 times. I mean, it is our show. Our show is a one of a kind show, and I can firmly attest to that. I've got numerous people that can back me and say the same thing. And all these people being fans, there's just something about this show that uh, it stands out. Whether it's the work or if it's the storylines, we're real big on storylines. Part of the reason why I couldn't answer a couple of your questions earlier, uh, this gets shared on Facebook or whatever. I don't want to spill the beans before these days get here. But they're coming very soon. But yeah, there is like the biggest thing, and what a lot of the fans that do come to this show, what they like about it is the long, drawn out, storylines, and sometimes there'll be some kinks in the storylines to throw the fans for a loop. We've actually had fans get up and walk out. They was so pissed off. Uh, I mean, that's that. I don't think we as a promotion had intended to cause a fan or fans to feel that much anger. We knew it was gonna make some people mad, but and a lot of people, they come in and say, oh, we're just here for a good time. But one thing about our show is, you come and you watch, and if you come show after show after show, we're gonna have you so invested in a storyline, and once something happens that you don't like, and you get up and you leave, that's that's saying something. I'm not. It's not bad, but it's saying something that, hey, we can really do this, and people really do think, hey, screw that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, vice versa. You get people that and storylines to where the baby faces going over or winning a belt or whatever, and they're just sitting here like, I really didn't think you could pull that off or something like that. Like that was very awesome, or something like that. That's just the biggest thing for me. I think it's the storylines that we make work, and that we can make our fans, actually believe. And I
Uh,
think.
that's one of the biggest things for me is storyline. That
Mhm.
everything else is extra, but if you can't have a good storyline to
No, and
have my emotions,
yeah, well, that's just like with anything, especially like wrestling in general. If you can't tell a story, yeah, you can go out there and you can do 1,000 flips, and you can get all the oohs and the ahs that you want. But if you're not telling a story, then why are you getting out there and beating your body up over nothing? Just to put on an acrobat show?
very, very true, very true.
I think that's kind of a lot of the old school style wrestlers that have had their hand in actually training me. Several of them. At first I got out there and was, hey, I want to do this and this and this and this. They'll sit me down, tell me to shut up for a minute, but doesn't make sense to the story. No, it don't. All right, well, let's think of something to go along with the story. And that's my biggest thing, is just to see wrestling uh, that go out there and have no meaning. Because I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm gonna go out there and wrestle, but I'm not gonna go out there and bump 100 times, knowing good and well I gotta go to work the day after next. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I understand. Man, there before we leave, is there any shout outs that you want to give to people and give the fans where they can reach you and follow you, man?
Oh yeah. Uh, Biggest shout out, man. To be quite frank with you, it would have to be Tyler Gazaway, the promoter of RCW. He's been over backwards, to give me the dream that I've always wanted in professional wrestling, and to give me a place to call home, uh, to hone in on my skills and stuff like that. Tyler, so if you see this, I appreciate you, dude. Uh, Thank you so much. And without you, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to all these amazing people. A couple more shout outs is Brent Banner. He's been one of them guys that has pushed me to where I am now. He's also one of the ones that still continues to make me better. Uh, let's see, Jess Wade. He also used to travel. He used to travel the roads with Dusty Rhodes back in the day, and like I said, so he's one of them big name uh, around the area. He's one of the big name old school indie guys that he knows his stuff, and without his guidance and stuff like that, I wouldn't be the wrestler I am today without them. There's a whole lot more. Like I said, man, I've got so much grace and everything to so many people I can give their flowers to. If I could shout out the whole RCW locker room for just having their hand in on making me a better wrestler, and not even really just a wrestler. It's made me into a better human. So if I could shout out all of them guys, it would be everybody, not just a select few, because everybody that has been a part of that promotion has had their hand in shaping me in some form or fashion. But the names that I did name, they've been there from day one. Um, but yeah, if you guys are on here, you can follow me on my Facebook page. I also have a Instagram, um, Damian underscore Bradshaw 42. You can look me up on there. I also post matches and stuff on there. But if you guys want to add me on Facebook, Damian Bradshaw, uh, I did have a wrestling page, but it had got hacked, and uh, I haven't had the chance to actually make a new one. But if you guys watching, if you guys are interested into looking up me or Renegade Championship Wrestling, you can get on Facebook and type up Renegade Championship Wrestling, and it should pull up. It should pull up, and it'll be a skull, and it'll have red letters called Renegade Championship Wrestling. You can just click on that, or I mean, I'm not one to hide, my personal stuff. It's nothing really too personal because it's on Facebook anyways. So if you guys want to look up Damian Bradshaw on Facebook and add me as a friend, I'm kind of one of them ones to where I'll post my wrestling stuff on my personal stuff too. It's there's some people that don't do it, but I for one, I don't really uh, not that I don't care, but I haven't gotten around to making a new wrestling page, so I just post all of my wrestling stuff and all my stuff on my personal page, which it gives me it already, because I already have a lot of friends and stuff on Facebook anyways. So it also gives the friends that I have that are not into wrestling. There's still a couple people that like to watch, and maybe I can eventually get them to come out and watch a show one day or something like that. So if you guys are watching, if you want to add me on Facebook. I know Bear's got me as a friend, so if you don't want to look me up, you can look on his friends list, and you can find me on there and add me. And if you want to, you can just shoot me a message and uh, tell me that you're from Bear's page, and I'll accept your invite, and we can go from there. And that way you guys can keep up with what all's going on. A lot of things that I'm posting right now on my Facebook is the injury that I just had. So I've been making jokes and stuff about it, trying to laugh away the pain. But like I said, I'm not taking a break from wrestling or anything. I gotta try and hurry up and get myself healed before the anniversary show that we're having at RCW next month. So we got it. I think we got exactly a month before the anniversary show. So yeah, I'm trying to get healed. That way I can, which I've already told my fiance, like, I don't care if I'm not healed or whatever. I'll take a couple, ibuprofens, and and something, and I'll wrap my leg up the best I can, and we'll just have to work around my legs. So,
So, what's the date for the anniversary show?
oh, you would tell me that, wouldn't you? Jesus, crap! I shouldn't say anything.
Well, well, well.
Okay,
Let's say
so it's four. I don't have a calendar to look up, but it's 4 Saturdays from now,
okay. Let me look it up
because
for you.
it's July. So we have a show on. I think it is the 5th. That's the first Saturday
Yep.
in the month, and then we do every other weekend. So then we have that next week off, and then that week is the anniversary show.
Okay, so that would be not calculator. So that would be the 19th.
Yep, that sounds right.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try, and I hate doing this because I try to be a man of my word,
Right.
but I'm gonna try my damnedest to be at that show on the 19th.
All right. Yeah, and I can also after we get off here, I can also go back and see the exact date. Like I said, I'm under a lot of medication right now, so my mind's not working, how it normally can work. But yeah, I think July the 19th is the anniversary show.
All right, cool, cool. I will try my best because the week before, I'm actually getting inducted into the Hall of Fame in
Oh,
Kentucky.
okay.
I've been blessed to be going there and be put in. A lot of great athletes are going in, and then they need comedy, so they put Professor in there. But
No, that. Well, congratulations.
well, I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, this year I've been trying to go to so many different promotions, and your promotion is not that far from me. So that's why I'm like, damn it.
Where
I
where
possibly make it.
where are you out of, if you don't mind me asking?
Knoxville.
Okay, yeah, you ain't that far. You just a couple hours.
Exactly. So like I said, I get to talk to Mrs. Burr and see if she gives me permission,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try my damage to make it.
All right. That sounds like a plan. We're
All
gonna we gonna
right.
we're gonna have to get a picture afterwards.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely, man. Again, man, I appreciate you. I love the journey you have been going through since the last time we talked. Man, I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you are continuing your dream, and man, I hope nothing but success.
Thank you.
Um, Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me today. And you know how we like to do in the forest. We like to give you indie wrestlers, promoters, reps, um, managers. We want you to learn these guys and girls and go show them support. Man, if you're in the area, go check out their show. Make sure no matter where you are, check out the indie wrestling, because there is some indie wrestling around you. I promise you, you will have fun. You will enjoy yourself.
Barry, can I
Indie
say one more
wrestling.
thing before we end it?
Yeah, go ahead.
To any other guy or gal that has been thinking about becoming a professional wrestler, if you have promotions in your area, or if you can travel a little bit out of your way and you're having thoughts about wanting to become a professional wrestler, and you're just scared that you're going to be turned down asking to be trained or asking for help, if you know because I would have been in this business a long time ago, which I'm still young. I'm 26 years old, but there's a lot of guys that wrestle in this business that are a whole lot younger than me and that have been in the business for a lot longer than I have. But that was kind of my thing. I was timid to get into the wrestling business. I loved it. I went to wrestling shows all the time, but it was one of them things where I was like, that is really cool, but I don't know if I can, I don't know if I have the gall to ask myself, for myself to ask somebody if I could become a professional wrestler. Well, I finally broke out of that shell one day and I trained to be a professional wrestler. And uh, here we are. And it's been going on 3 years now. And it's probably the last 2 years have been some of the best times of my life because I have not only been able to learn, I have been able to talk with a bunch of different people. I've been able to have seminars with a couple different big names. The guy that had just had originally, well, when he first started training me, his brother-in-law is actually Anthony Henry, and he wrestles for AEW. And I've had a seminar with him, and hey, that dude knows a lot. I've had, well, I think that's been about because of work. That's been about the only seminar I have been able to be a part of. But uh, as far as being able to sit down and talk with other people that has been in the business, just here recent as Anthony Henry, but not just him, but a bunch of other people that have been around the United States wrestling and being able to pick up stuff from them. Uh, you would be uh, shocked at if you was to take that leap in becoming a professional wrestler. You would be shocked to see how many people that is in your area that knows a lot of people that does it big time. It's shocked me as well when I first started. Oh, here I also have another thing too. So back some years ago, the building that we wrestle in, uh, it was a PCW. I can't remember the actual name of that wrestling promotion, but it's PCW. Um, they had a low boy wrestling ring and uh, a bunch of history for this ring, and a bunch of people have wrestled out of this ring. Uh, the number one guy that I know that has the big name that has wrestled in this ring is AJ Styles when he was in the indie scene. So I thought that was really cool. But not only AJ Styles, but there's 30, 40 plus years of history inside this ring. And I had a couple months back, I had actually bought that ring, and that ring is actually set up in my front yard right now. And
Oh
I just
wow.
it needs some love and it needs some work to be done to it. But like I said, I haven't gotten around to actually getting to work on it. But that was actually something pretty cool too. Was now not only do I have the promotion that I can work at, I also have a wrestling ring in my front yard. So that's also pretty cool. And
Yes.
eventually, I'm gonna get a building built to where I'm gonna have the ring in a building and out of the weather and stuff like that too. So I'll be able to work out anytime I want to.
Man, that is super awesome. Man, that's living a dream right there for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Uh,
again, I appreciate you taking the time, man. And like I said, I'm gonna do my damnedest to be at that anniversary show, and we're
all right.
definitely gonna keep in touch, and we're gonna have you back and see what's been going on with you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, just hit me up on Facebook or whatever. I mean, hey, if something comes up and you can't make it to the anniversary show, hey, we always have more shows. Just
Oh
because
yeah,
it's the anniversary show and it's going to be a big show, don't mean the next show won't be a big show. So
I
you,
love it.
you'll never know what to expect because we us as workers in that locker room, we want every show to be an anniversary show. So that's our number one goal.
I love it. Love it. Guys, girls, again, thank you so much for taking the time. And man, again, man, follow Damian Bradshaw and man, follow RCW. I mean, hey, what else can the professor say? Thank you for joining me on the Bears Talk, and we'll be back next time. Y'all have a great evening.
Thank you, Bear. I appreciate you.